going to move on to the fireside chat. I'd like to now welcome to the stage Cristian Bușoi, formerly the chair of the European Parliament's Energy and Industry Committee, and now Secretary of State for Romania's Ministry of Energy. But he's back with us here in Brussels today. You can sit right in that chair. It's best for the camera angles. State Secretary, welcome back to Brussels. A pleasure to have you here with us today. So you've been sitting there in the audience listening to some of what our panelists have had to say. We've heard from them about the role of the refining and fuel manufacturing industry in the different value chains and in all these different sectors that it's involved in. What's your reaction to some of what we just heard?
First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really honored to be in this big event organized by FuelsEurope. It is good that FuelsEurope started again, gathering people and debating important issues in the context which is extremely difficult. Indeed, I represented my country, Romania, for 16 years in European Parliament, and I've been the chairman of the Industry and Energy Committee between 2019 2024. And since March last year, I'm Vice Minister, State Secretary coordinating European and International Affairs in the Ministry of Energy of Romania, participating to all European Energy Councils. So witnessing directly how the perspective of the ministers of the member states change a little bit looking to this industry. I'm aware about the role in the several value chains, not only the transport value chain, but also petrochemical, agriculture, not only supply, but also in the fertilizer production, also the chemical, pharmaceuticals are also impacted, or the role in the general energy systems. This impact of the industry is not well recognized, and not everyone is aware, and it is something that we need to promote in the future. Romania has 3 refineries left. One is closed temporary, the Lukoil Petrotel refinery. The other 2 are active. And we are also discovered that in the new context, the security of supply is not anymore guaranteed. Well, the situation in the Middle East is with ups and downs. We have better days and less better with the fluctuation of the prices, but also as we import diesel and diesel mainly as a refined product, sometimes we look to the general situation and to the security of supply. We introduced also a scheme to cap the margins of the importers, but also of the producers up to the last year margins, which created some difficulties mainly for the importers and wholesalers. So even in a country like Romania, a country that is not enthusiastic for Green Deal and the transformation towards the sustainable fuels, we support this. We know that this is a way. We are aligned with the European trends, but we are not a big supporter and a fanatic enthusiast promoter of this transformation. So we still advocate the role of the industry, the role of the refineries, the role of the fuels during the transition and even beyond. We advocate to postpone the electric vehicles total transformation of the industry, auto industry. So even in our countries, the impact and the role of your industry is not yet fully recognized, and in Europe even less. And the new context is helping us. I was saying last evening that the illegal invasion of Ukraine by Russia reassessed the role of natural gas in Europe and the onshore and offshore production. Before 2022 was almost impossible in European Parliament, and coming from Romania and chairing the Industry Committee, I tried to explain the role of the natural gas, the role of the fossil fuels, at least during transition. Of course, going towards decarbonization, but we still need. Otherwise, if you do not produce here, we'll import from elsewhere, and we risk to desindustrialize Europe. Then it was a little bit easier. Now, maybe we rediscover that we lost an important capacity of production in Europe, due mainly to the ETS and to the taxes and to some measures that some member states took, and we need to regain partially at least, or at least to preserve what we have and be less dogmatic.
Now, I had asked Alessandro before whether he thought that policymaking was taking into account all of the interdependencies between fuels and all of the sectors that we had out here. You've now sat in two different EU institutions, the European Parliament and now the European Council. Do you think that the role of the fuels industry is being underestimated in either institution at national level or at EU level, and then taking into account these interdependencies?
Yes, this is very clear for me. It is under estimated. It is not supported enough. Even the transition, the transformation towards sustainable fuels, towards the fuels of tomorrow, until now was triggered mainly by binding targets and let's say imposing measures, not real incentive, financial incentives of policy incentives. And of course, being in an interdependent world, looking what is happening on other continents, having mixed signals from worldwide, United States, sometimes looking a little bit in the same direction like European Union during the Democrat administration. Now with the presidency of Mr. Trump giving total opposite signals, also in Europe it's difficult to make long-term plans. So the role is underestimated, and support, or at least the strategic direction for this industry is not yet clear, looking from the European legislation and European measures.
What would you say is the difference between Western Europe and Eastern Europe when it comes to fuels? Is there a big difference?
First of all, it's a difference of approach. Western and North of Europe are more enthusiastic towards decarbonization, towards the implementation of Green Deal. They are the forces that are bringing Europe in this direction. Even that some of the situations are reassessed even in the West now. The Central and East European countries are, of course, on the same road, but a little bit more reserved, more reluctant to go without taking into account the realities. Romania and Poland were based a lot on coal, Poland more than Romania. Romania started to phase out also due to the what was imposed linked to the RRF funds that we received. Also, other East European countries are very much dependent on the imports of oil from Russia, Hungary, Slovakia. So also their regard towards what is decided in the in Brussels is a little bit different. So our approach is more balanced, and we try to convince European institutions that we need to look also to other aspects. Security of supply, very important, energy security, also the affordability of prices, the social aspects, the just transition for some areas. And also this is due to the fact that all the transformation needs investments, and the capacity to invest is different in the west and north of Europe than in the central and east Europe. And the access to financing for all this transformation is very, very different.
Well, State Secretary, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you coming by and talking about these issues that we're devoting the day to. How about a round of applause for the State Secretary?
Thank you very much.